Hello, I'm Catherine Corelli, and this is episode 358 of my Cat Vibes series. Thank you for coming to watch. I, of course, want to urge you to subscribe to my channel so that you wouldn't miss a single video. I'm still on the October series here, using these small experimental panels, which I will run out of pretty soon. Now that I'm recording this, gosh, what date is it today? It's the end of January. Second half of January. It's kind of a bizarre feeling because I already know that all of these videos are going to drop much later. And I'm literally going to record in January the episodes that are going to drop in late February. It's almost like time travel of sorts. Whereas I painted this painting much earlier. It was in November, I believe. So bizarre to be split in time. There's something to it, though. It's an awkward feeling. I love awkward, though. Awkward is a wonderfully fertile soil for creative, I think. So, anyways, as usual, I'm starting with an underpainting and deliberately being very loose. I specifically wanted to paint a whole bunch of these October little paintings because of the high contrasts between the colors and all the shadows and interplay, different shades and hues of greens, the fading greens, the brownish greens, the vegetation, the sunlight, that kind of thing. At the same time, I was starting to get a little anxious about painting the next cover art for the next single because while I was painting these little panels, I kind of I've given myself a little vacation from the bigger paintings, basically, and allowed myself to just go and explore and be very loose and not worry too much about being true to the reference and that kind of thing. Experimenting with brush strokes and thickness of paint and light and juxtaposing colors and playing around with composition and trying to loosen up not just my brushwork but also the composition, generally speaking, and feeling free to venture further and further away from realism. Still kind of staying true to what I see and to what I know to be true, but allowing myself to just create. So I went on this extensive vacation, which lasted throughout November and all the way till mid-December. And then in mid-December, I painted Approaching the Blue Gates, which is the cover art for Through the Blue Gates, the single that at this time should be already released on all streaming platforms. But, gosh, Approaching the Blue Gates was such a difficult painting. So here in these little panels, I'm just playing around, and I'm allowing myself to just be as relaxed as I possibly can, anticipating the very challenging subject matter that I had in mind looking forward. In a way, I sort of enjoy this interspace between larger works because when I go on these little detours into smaller panels, it gives me the necessary playfulness, allows me perhaps better space for playfulness. And then when I return to a larger painting, I try to bring with me the playfulness that I've rediscovered on a smaller panel. I think that's why I want to do smaller works. I want to keep them loose. And I'm not concerning myself really with too much detail or not overworking this. That's not the point of it. It's kind of a study, and it's kind of a finished thing, a finished painting at the same time. And I like to keep it this way. I actually don't think that it needs to be larger or it needs to be more. Sometimes less is more. And that's precisely the case with these paintings. And at least that's the way I feel about it. The light. That's the big thing that I'm usually hunting, chasing, the light. And the subtle variation in hues and temperature. Those things. This is behind the house, and it's the setting sun, and it illuminates all of these large trees and whatever's left, whatever leaves are left on them. The reference, I believe, is from early October, so early to mid-October. So there's still plenty of vegetation, there's plenty of green still, and then in the distance there's like the bench and the fire pit and that kind of thing. A little bit of sky, and lots of these golden patches juxtaposed against the blues of the sky. It's exciting to paint. I have to say, however, that looking forward, I have a whole bunch of pre-cut masonite here already. I recently bought me some canvas, so I think I want to paint more people. I've done a lot of these small landscapes. I generally speaking want to paint more. But everything has slowed down a little bit this winter, and I'm giving myself more time to rest. I sleep more. I allow myself to stretch, to do some somatic exercises, to release, to just be. But then I also have to, do all the things that I have to do. And it's very taxing. Plus, I'm learning Greek nowadays, looking forward to moving to the Mediterranean region. And I think speaking Greek more or less fluently would be of great help. I think, generally speaking, it would be preferable to speak Greek as opposed to English. It might be also helpful that I'm a Russian native speaker. So it might be a very good thing. When is this going to happen? How exactly is this going to happen? I have no idea. But learning Greek is one of these things that I'm engaging in daily. One of these activities that I'm engaged in daily nowadays. And it takes some time, and it takes some brain energy, mind energy. And then I'm trying to balance my music activity, which is, as usual, a lot. It's a lot of work. And then all the painting. And sometimes I'm moving faster with paintings, and sometimes it kind of all slows down. But generally speaking, I just want to cover a lot of ground. And I guess in part this is compensation, because I guess I have years upon years worth of paintings that I haven't done, and I feel like I want to catch up. There's a lot that I wanted to paint, that I want to paint right now, that I feel that I want to paint. And I want to throw myself into that, and I want to do it. And it all requires time and energy. And there's only so many hours in every day. Well, we're almost done here. Yep. This was a joyful little painting to paint, really. It was pleasant. Anyways, thank you very much for being with me, and you will hear me next time. Ciao.